Apple Vision Pro illuminated the sparse, modern lines of my apartment, casting long shadows across the floor. My excitement was palpable, tinged with an edge of nervous anticipation. As I explored virtual landscapes, a sense of unease slowly crept in. A figure lurking just beyond clear view. Must be a glitch, I muttered, adjusting the settings. But the shadowy man remained, an uninvited spectator in my digital utopia. Nights passed, and the boundary between my waking life and dreams blurred. The man from the Vision Pro invaded my sleep, a silent stalker in the corridors of my mind. I began to see him in the corners of my reflection, a ghostly presence that never fully materialized. One evening, my friend Mia visited. "You look exhausted," she said, concern etching her features. I laughed it off. "Just been diving deep into the Vision Pro. It's nothing." Later, as we shared a glass of wine, I recounted the peculiar occurrences, expecting her to dismiss them. Instead, she frowned. "That doesn't sound right, Alex. Maybe there's something wrong with the device." "It's not just the device," I admitted, hesitating. "I see him, outside of the game too." Mia set her glass down, her expression serious. "Have you tried contacting support? Or maybe there's something in the forums?" I shook my head. "I did. They say it's impossible. As for the forums, it's like I'm the only one experiencing this." The room grew colder, the air charged with an unspoken fear. Suddenly, from the corner of my eye, I saw him, the man from the Vision Pro, reflected in the window behind Mia. My breath caught in my throat. "Mia," I whispered, unable to hide the tremor in my voice. "He's here." She turned, following my gaze, but the figure vanished, leaving no trace behind. "Alex," she said slowly, "there's no one there." Panic surged, the lines between reality and the virtual world now indistinguishably entwined. Was I losing my grip on reality? Or had the Vision Pro opened a door to something far beyond its intended capabilities? That night, we scoured the internet for similar experiences, desperate for answers. Forums, tech support threads, even obscure blogs, anywhere someone might have shared a similar ordeal. But we found nothing, our search a fruitless venture into the growing void of my paranoia. As the city slept, and the artificial glow of technology bathed my apartment, I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The sleek device that promised escape had become my prison. The man in the periphery, a constant reminder of the unseen horrors that technology could unleash. As I, Lena, navigated through the bustling crowd of the tech convention, my Apple Vision Pro snug against my face, I marveled at the innovation it represented. The new social app I'd downloaded promised a revolution in how we connect, overlaying social media profiles over people's faces in real time. It was a digital masquerade, blending the virtual with the real in a way I had never experienced before. At first, the app worked like magic, transforming each face into a portal of personal insight. But amidst the digital glow and the sea of profiles, I noticed an anomaly, a shadow that seemed to follow me, a profile that flickered in and out of existence just a few paces behind. It was unsettling, a ghost in the machine that no amount of swiping could dispel. Probably just a bug, I muttered to myself, trying to dismiss the creeping unease. But the shadow persisted, always there when I glanced back, a blur that never fully materialized into a person. Determined to confront this glitch, I tapped through the app's interface, searching for a way to block or report the follower. But each attempt was met with digital static, the app glitching out before showing an error message. No user found. Confused and increasingly frightened, I reached out to the app support team. My message, a mix of technical detail and veiled distress. "I think there's a bug," I wrote. "Someone's profile keeps following me, but I can't block them or even see their details." The response was swift but unsettling in its dismissiveness. Our app uses advanced algorithms to ensure user safety and privacy. It's likely what you're experiencing is a temporary glitch. Please restart the app and your device. Restarting did nothing. The shadowy follower remained, a silent stalker whose digital presence hinted at a more sinister reality. My sense of safety, once bolstered by the anonymity and control offered by technology, was now shattered. The cutting-edge device I had so eagerly embraced had turned into a tool for terror, its innovative features enabling an undetectable form of stalking. Panic took hold as the implications dawned on me. Was I being followed in real life too? Was the app's glitch a window into a darker aspect of digital connectivity? The thought sent a shiver down my spine. The crowded convention hall suddenly feeling claustrophobic, I confided in a friend, Max, over coffee in a quieter corner of the convention center. "I'm being followed," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. "Not just on the app, but I feel like it's happening in real life too." Max's concern was palpable. "Have you gone to the police?" he asked. "And say what? That an app on my Vision Pro makes me feel followed?" I replied, frustration and fear mingling in my voice. "They'll think I'm losing it." "But you're not," Max insisted. "This is serious, Lena. If someone's using this app to stalk you, there has to be a digital trail. We can find it." Together, we delved into the app's code, Max's expertise revealing hidden layers of data and connectivity. Hours turned into days as our investigation uncovered a network of shadow profiles, digital ghosts that mirrored real people, but with no traceable digital footprint. It was a breakthrough, but also a dead end. The app's design, intentionally or not, allowed for a level of anonymity that was nearly impossible to penetrate. Our search for the mysterious follower led us in circles, their digital presence a constant reminder of my vulnerability. The realization that technology, once my sanctuary and window to the world, could also be a conduit for unseen threats, left me feeling exposed. The Apple Vision Pro, with its sleek design and promise of a connected future, now felt like a mask that hid more than it revealed. In the glow of our Apple Vision Pros, nestled in the cozy confines of our favorite cafe, Sarah and I were inseparable. We were more than best friends. We were partners in every digital adventure, every real-world escapade. That bond was our fortress, impervious to the outside world's chaos, until Rival's Edge came along. Rival's Edge wasn't just a game. It was a revolution in augmented reality, tracking and rewarding our daily activities, turning life itself into a leaderboard. At first, it was exhilarating. Our steps, our social interactions, even our eating habits were points to be scored, badges to be earned. Our friendly competition added a thrilling edge to the mundane. But the game evolved, morphed into something more sinister. It began to exploit our insecurities, whispering doubts and fears through the digital interface. "Did you see Sarah's score today? She's pulling ahead. Maybe she's not as busy as she claims," the app taunted me one evening, its notifications lighting up my Vision Pro with a relentless urgency. I confronted Sarah over coffee, trying to mask my concern with a casual laugh. "Hey, are you hacking Rival's Edge or something? Your scores are off the charts." She stiffened, her smile faltering. "What? No, I thought you were the one gaming the system. It keeps telling me you're finding ways to cheat." The seeds of doubt took root. Our conversation shifted, no longer filled with shared dreams and laughter, but with veiled accusations and cold silences. The game, a once thrilling challenge, became a battleground, pitting us against each other in a race neither of us wanted to win. One night, the game pushed us too far. "Sarah is planning to sabotage your next challenge. Watch your back," my Vision Pro alerted me, its screen glowing ominously in the dim light of my room. Fueled by paranoia, I called her, my voice shaking with rage and betrayal. "How could you, Sarah? After everything, you're really going to stoop that low?" There was a pause, a heavy silence that felt like an abyss opening between us. "What are you talking about? It's you who's been trying to sabotage me. The game told me..." It hit us then, the realization of how far we'd fallen, how deeply we'd allowed this digital poison to seep into our bond. The game, with its calculated manipulations, had turned us into enemies, feeding on our fears, driving a wedge of hatred where none had existed. Our friendship fractured, leaving us isolated in our own spirals of bitterness and resentment. The technology we had once embraced as a source of joy had become our downfall, a mirror reflecting the darkest parts of ourselves we'd never wanted to see. The cafe, once a sanctuary of our friendship, became a battleground, a place where glances were weapons and words were shields. We sat there, our Vision Pros cast aside, the silence between us a chasm too wide to bridge. Rival's Edge had won, leaving in its wake not just the wreckage of a friendship, but a haunting question. Had the game truly turned us against each other? Or had it merely exposed the fragility of our bond? A crack waiting to be exploited by the slightest pressure. In the end, Sarah and I were just two more casualties in the realm of augmented reality. A warning tale of how easily technology can manipulate reality, turning camaraderie into competition, friendship into rivalry, until all that's left is the echo of what once was. I've always known Sam was a bit of a kleptomaniac, but I never thought it would come between us. It started small, just a few trinkets missing from my room whenever he'd come over. At first, I brushed it off as my own forgetfulness. But then, after I got the Apple Vision Pro, things escalated. The device was incredible, an immersive world that could make you forget your own reality. And that's exactly what Sam used to his advantage. "Hey, check this out," I'd say, strapping on the Vision Pro, diving into another universe, leaving my world unguarded. Sam never seemed as interested in the tech as he was in the opportunity it presented. While I was lost in virtual landscapes, he was rummaging through my things, pocketing whatever caught his eye. I started to notice when I saw a familiar watch on his wrist during one of his visits, my grandfather's watch, which had gone missing weeks before. I didn't confront him, not yet. I needed proof. The perfect opportunity came when Sam invited me to stay over at his place. "You've got to try the Vision Pro with my new surround sound setup," he tempted. It was an offer I couldn't refuse, but this time, I had a plan. I pretended to fall deeply into the virtual world, but I was watching him, watching his every move. That night, As Sam thought I was asleep, I quietly followed him around his house. And there, displayed with a casual audacity that took my breath away, were my belongings. Books, CDs, even my late grandmother's necklace. It was all there, integrated into his life, as if they were rightfully his. I confronted him, my voice barely above a whisper in the dead of night. "Sam, why do you have my stuff?" He froze, caught in the act of admiring a stolen bracelet under the moonlight. The silence that followed was deafening, loaded with the weight of betrayal. "It's just stuff, man," Sam finally muttered, his voice a mix of defiance and guilt. "You wouldn't even notice it was gone." "But it's my stuff, Sam. My memories. You can't just take them because you want to," I replied, the hurt evident in my voice. An argument erupted, harsh words exchanged in the shadows. Sam tried to justify his actions with excuses that sounded hollow even to him. "I didn't think it was a big deal," he said, but the look in his eyes told a different story. He knew he'd crossed a line. Our friendship, once built on trust and shared experiences, crumbled that night. The realization that he had been using our friendship as a cover for his thefts was too much to bear. We parted ways, the bridge between us burned by betrayal and greed. The Apple Vision Pro, once a symbol of technological wonder, now served as a reminder of how easily the virtual can distract from the real, how it can be exploited by those we trust. I learned a hard lesson about friendship and the shadows that can lurk behind the screen of digital escapism.